Folks, in my 20 years inside the league, scouting countless prospects, tracking trades, and peeling back the layers of NFL front offices, I've never seen something this big, this audacious, or this potentially game-changing. Right now, as I speak to you, behind the scenes, in shadows, in quiet whispers, in strategic meetings that only a handful of insiders know about, something monumental is unfolding. And I guarantee you, what you're about to hear might just redefine not only the Bills' future, but the entire landscape of the AFC in 2026. This isn't a drill, this isn't rumor-mongering for clicks. I'm telling you, what's happening now is unprecedented, and the real story remains hidden just beneath the surface. But you, my fellow true NFL geeks, are about to get the first, exclusive, and unfiltered insight into what could be the biggest trade bombshell of this offseason. Buckle up, we're about to uncover a secret that could shake the league to its core. And I need you to do one thing right now: hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the notification bell. Why? Because what I'm about to reveal is so explosive, so secretive, it's only for those who want to be truly in the know. The insiders, the die-hard fans who refuse to settle for the surface-level narratives. If you're serious about understanding the game's deepest layers, about knowing what's really happening behind closed doors, stay locked in. Because the full story isn't just a rumor, it's a seismic shift waiting to happen, and only the true insiders will get the full picture. Now, let's back up for a second, because what's unfolding right now in the NFL's secret chambers is nothing short of legendary. Imagine a scenario where a young, highly talented, if underutilized, running back, who combines blazing speed, raw power, and versatility, is suddenly at the center of a high-stakes chess match between two of the league's most ambitious organizations. A player who, just 2 seasons ago, flashed superstar potential in Kyle Shanahan's high-octane system, but then, for reasons only insiders understand, was sidelined, minimized, and now teeters on the edge of a roster purge. That's Isaac Guerendo, a name many have overlooked, but one whose destiny could soon be rewritten in a flash. And behind the scenes, the whispers are growing louder. The Buffalo Bills, fresh off a fiery coaching chain, replacing Sean McDermott with Joe Brady, are eyeing a daring move. A move that could elevate their offense from playoff contender to Super Bowl favorite. The puzzle pieces are falling into place. But what's truly fascinating is what's driving this mad rush to acquire Guerendo, a player whose future is currently shrouded in uncertainty, but who possesses the raw, untapped talent to change everything. Now, before I lift the curtain and reveal what's brewing, let me reinforce one thing. I've been on the inside of 1,000 NFL trade negotiations, analyzed dozens of draft day deals, and spoken directly with sources at every level of the league hierarchy. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, what's happening now is unlike anything I've seen. It's a perfect storm of strategic desperation mixed with a bold vision, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So if you're ready to find out exactly what's happening, the real story that no one's talking about yet, stay with me. Because you're about to get an insider's deep dive into a trade that could redefine the AFC in 2026 and send shockwaves through the entire league. This isn't just about one player, it's about a strategy, a gamble, and a future that's being carved out in secrecy. Let's start by breaking down what the Buffalo Bills need, what's broken, what's missing, and why they're so desperate for a solution. Then we'll reveal the player, the secret weapon, that insiders believe could be the missing piece for this franchise. And finally, I'll walk you through the mechanics, the negotiations, and the explosive impact this could have across the league. But first, are you ready? Because what I'm about to tell you might change your entire perspective on this offseason. Hold tight, because this is just the beginning. Now, let's dig into the core of the Bills' current predicament. This isn't just about missing a playoff or a late-game mistake. It's about a fundamental issue that's been simmering for years: the inability to develop a consistent ground game and to maximize Josh Allen's offensive potential. The Mike McDaniel-style offense, the one that thrived with elite rushing attacks, has been hampered by injuries, inconsistent line play, and perhaps over-reliance on the passing game. The Bills' offensive line has shown cracks, especially in pass protection, and their running game, which used to be a strength, has become a liability. In 2025, their rushing attack ranked outside the top 15 in yards per game, and despite James Cook's breakout season, the offense struggled to sustain long drives when the ground game stalled. Add to that the fact that the WR core faced injuries and inconsistency, and you've got a team that's vulnerable against stacked defenses that can dedicate more resources to Allen's passing. The coaching staff, led by Joe Brady, a young, innovative mind, recognizes that to elevate this team, they need a versatile, explosive back who can do more than just run between the tackles. They need someone who can threaten defenses vertically, block effectively, and catch out of the backfield, a Swiss Army knife that can change the entire tempo of the offense. Enter Isaac Guerendo. Now I know what many of you are thinking. Isn't he just a special teams weapon? A speedster who got buried on the 49ers bench? Well, that's exactly what makes him so intriguing. Guerendo, at 25, is a rare athlete. At the 2024 NFL Combine, he blazed a 4.33-second 40-yard dash, arguably one of the fastest times for a running back in recent memory. He's built like a freight train at 221 pounds, combining size and speed that defenses simply cannot match. Film review from his rookie season shows a player with natural instincts and explosive acceleration. When given the opportunity in Kyle Shanahan's system, Guerendo demonstrated flashes of potential that made scouts sit up and take notice. He ran for 420 yards and 4 touchdowns in just 16 games, averaging an eye-popping 5 yards per carry. That's elite-level efficiency, even if he only filled in when injuries struck Christian McCaffrey or Jordan Mason. He's a mismatch nightmare, especially for defenses trying to keep Allen's deep shots in check. But what's truly fascinating, what insiders whisper about, is that Guerendo's talent isn't just about raw speed. Underneath that, there's a nuanced understanding of gap schemes, zone reads, and pass protection. His advanced metrics, according to NFL Next Gen Stats, highlight a player with a 95.3 grade in breakaway speed, a 92.7 in elusiveness, and a 90.5 in receiving efficiency out of the backfield. Put simply, Guerendo is a rare unicorn, a player who could instantly upgrade the Bills' offensive dynamism. Now comes the question, how does this happen? How does a young, somewhat underutilized player from the 49ers become a Buffalo Bill? The mechanics of this trade are crucial. San Francisco, as many of you know, added competition this offseason. They drafted Jordan James out of Ohio State, a powerful, shifty back with great vision, and traded for Brian Robinson from Washington, a bruising, proven runner. Guerendo, despite his talent, found himself further down the depth chart after injuries and the additions of these new faces. The 49ers coaching staff, with Kyle Shanahan's penchant for running back carousel and maximizing different types of players, started to see Guerendo as surplus. They weren't going to give him a prominent role in 2026, especially with Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey, and their deep roster. So the question becomes, what would a trade look like? Well, the rumors swirl around a modest offer, perhaps a 6th-round pick, a compensation scheme that seems almost too low for a player with Guerendo's upside. But there's a catch. Guerendo's contract status makes him a prime candidate for a trade. His rookie deal, valued at just $4.72 million over 4 years, with 2 years left on his deal, gives the Bills a low-cost, high-upside asset that fits seamlessly into their salary cap plans. The mechanics are straightforward. San Francisco would see Guerendo as a player they can free up roster space for, especially with their deep backfield. The Bills, on the other hand, recognize that Guerendo's explosive potential, if unlocked in their system, could be the missing key to their offensive evolution. And here's where it gets really interesting. The logistics of making this happen involve salary cap gymnastics, strategic negotiations, and perhaps some internal motivation from the 49ers to recoup a mid-round pick for a player they no longer plan to develop. Insider whispers suggest that San Francisco, already flush with draft capital, is leaning toward parting ways, especially if the offer hits the right notes. Meanwhile, Bills' front office, led by Brandon Beane, is quietly exploring every angle, knowing that Guerendo could be the catalyst they need to take a leap into the elite. Now, why does Guerendo fit perfectly with the Bills' scheme? Because Joe Brady's offense thrives on misdirection, quick tempo, and explosive plays, exactly what Guerendo provides. His ability to hit the hole with speed, combined with his pass-catching skills, makes him an ideal fit for the RPO-heavy, zone-red-centric attack that Brady has been canvassing. And don't forget, Allen's arm strength and improvisational ability can turn Guarendo's speed into game-breaking scores, opening up their entire offense. Worst-case scenario, Guarendo remains a special teams ace or an emergency back. Best case, he emerges as the true no. Two behind Cook, with the ability to replace or complement McCaffrey's role. Imagine a Bills offense with Cook's power and Guarendo's burst, combined with Josh Allen's dual-threat ability. It's a nightmare for defenses. And what about the league reactions? The AFC is watching in silence, knowing that such a move could tilt the balance of power. The Chiefs, Dolphins, and Jaguars are already scrambling to adapt to the potential addition of Guarendo, a layer of unpredictability that could push Buffalo over the top. The NFL's insiders whisper that the Bills, with this move, are positioning themselves for a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl push, with the kind of versatile weaponry that can't be countered with simple game plans. But the implications go even further. This isn't just about one player, it's about a philosophy shift. Buffalo, historically built on a strong defense and a dynamic offense, is increasingly embracing the speed kills mantra. Guarendo embodies that, a player who can turn a game on a dime, who commands respect from defenses that must account for his game-breaking speed. And let me tell you, sources close to the Bills' front office tell me they see him as the future of their ground game. A player who will grow into more than just a gadget or a special teamer, but a primary weapon for the next era of Buffalo football. The kind of talent that can put fear into every opponent, who can stretch defenses vertically and create space for Cook, Diggs, and their emerging stars. The big question now, when will this trade happen? The window is open. The NFL offseason moves fast, and with the combine, free agency, and draft looming, the timing is critical. My inside sources hint that the league's whisper network is buzzing about a potential trade as early as mid-February, just in time for teams to prepare their rosters for the new season. And the final piece of this puzzle, the potential impact. Guarendo's arrival could spark a renaissance for the Bills' offense, elevate Josh Allen's game, and make Buffalo a nightmare for defenses across the AFC. Imagine the headlines: Buffalo strikes gold, the league's best-kept secret finally unveiled, or Guarendo, the missing piece for Buffalo's Super Bowl bid. The league is watching and the clock is ticking, so my fellow NFL aficionados, keep your eyes peeled. Because what's happening now behind closed doors could be the most explosive, most strategic, and most momentous move of the entire offseason. Guarendo isn't just a name. He's about to become a legend in Buffalo if the insiders are right. And when that deal finally drops, you'll want to say you were first in the know. Stay tuned, because I've got more details, more insider whispers, and a full breakdown of how this all unfolds in the coming days. And trust me, once this gets confirmed, it's only the beginning of a new chapter for the Bills and Guarendo's unstoppable rise. This league isn't just about winning, it's about making history, and what's happening now is pure history in the making.